For over 15 years, Gallup Funeral Services Incorporated has been a beacon of light, guiding local families through difficult times. Gallup Funeral Services Incorporated proudly provides all families with compassionate choices for professional funeral care at reasonable prices. Get the answers you need 24 hours a day. No answering services, hidden costs, add-on fees, confusing fine print, or those scary-looking contracts. Remember, Gallup Funeral Services owns and operates the only crematory in Dare County, keeping our cremations affordable and convenient. Gallup Memorial Chapel in Bargo, North Carolina is now open and minutes from Moyock and Elizabeth City. From traditional church services and graveside burials to direct cremations and advanced planning, let Gallup Funeral Services Incorporated light the way for your family. Don't be pressured or confused by the other funeral homes. It's always your choice. Choose Gallup Funeral Services Incorporated. Call Courtney at 252-216-8030 to get a plan started today, and visit our new website at gallupfuneralservices.com.
16 days for Christmas shopping, 16 days to fill the stocking, 16 days for Christmas shopping, only got 16 more, only got 16 more.
Hi there, how about Christmas? Have you done your shopping? You better get busy.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome.
News team, assemble!
Joining us live because if you want to know anything about the Outer Banks, Sam Walker's the dude to fill you in.
The sea was angry that day, my friends. Like an old man trying to send back soup in a deli.
Always appreciate talking to you.
Always good stuff with Sam Walker in the Outer Banks.
Now here's Les Nessman and the news.
And good morning, everyone. Welcome to OBX Today Live. It is December 9th, 2021. Happy Thursday. Woo, it's got a chilly out there this morning. A little breeze coming in off the ocean again today. Not quite as much as yesterday. Definitely don't have the rain, and the rain much needed. And turns out we got the rain we really needed to help with this drought. We'll find out later today if it had a significant impact on the drought conditions. We'll go over that in just a few minutes. But the burning ban has been lifted. We'll talk about that as well. Also coming up on the show today, Chad Williams, athletic director and basketball coach at First Light High School. Got the Good Guys versus Cancer Charity Classic. That is coming up tomorrow and Saturday at First Light High School in Kill Devil Hills. We're talking about some of the best high school basketball teams in the state. Top Division I caliber talent. That's some of the best, highest sought-after recruits. Also playing in this. It kicks off tomorrow. And we're going to be talking to Chad Williams all about that coming up here on OBX Today Live. Make sure you mash that like button, subscribe, and hit the bell to know whenever we go live, both on Facebook and YouTube. Let's get into the headlines this morning. Yesterday, over in Elizabeth City, an Elizabeth City Pasquotank student was arrested after allegedly having a semi-automatic gun and drugs on a school bus. The student was from Northeastern High School, was found with a pistol grip AK-47, a loaded 30-round magazine, a jar of marijuana, and a knife. He was on a school bus, stopped at River Road Middle School. The bus driver said they smelled marijuana on the student and notified the school resource officer when they stopped at River Road. And that's common for the high schools and the middle schools to share buses in many of our school districts. The student... again, was found by the school resource officer with all those items, according to authorities. They sent River Road Middle School and Northeastern High School in a lockdown so they could search the entire school. But nothing else significant was found. Yesterday, a press conference was held in Elizabeth City yesterday afternoon to talk about it. The audio wasn't all that great. We had to do a lot of lifting on the volumes to get any audio from that. Here is interim school superintendent Eddie Ingram.
It was handled today as well as it can be handled, and I commend both law enforcement agencies and our school administrations and our staffs for quick response. We avoided something that could have been much worse. Ingram and law enforcement praised the school bus driver for their actions, first alerting authorities. The juvenile, who was not identified, they're under 18, is all that we know, faces 6 weapons-related counts, 2 drug-related charges, and more counts are possible.
So that's a story that we will continue to follow. That came yesterday, same time yesterday, an unloaded gun was found at Cary High School, another school out in the western part of the state. Someone was arrested with a weapon at school. So that's the latest there. All right, we talked about it at the top of the show. The open burning ban in most of North Carolina has been lifted. 67 counties. That open burning ban was lifted yesterday. That includes all of northeastern North Carolina and the Outer Banks. Rainfall yesterday helped counter those drought conditions. We are in a moderate to severe drought in a good portion of northeastern North Carolina, especially on the mainland there, Hyde County, and also in Terrell County. And that's where the heaviest of rain, according to radar estimates from the National Weather Service, fell, at least in our area. As you look, the graphic we've got up there, down towards New Bern, Morehead City, Jacksonville, those areas actually got even more rain. They got up to 2 inches of rain in some spots. But as you get closer to us, anywhere from a half inch to about 1.5 inches fell yesterday out of that system that came through. And it fell especially there you see on the Dare County mainland. And that, of course, Alligator River National Wildlife Refuge, the Dare Bombing Range, which has been the scene of some pretty massive wildfires over the last decade. We got a lot of rain there. Now, the North Carolina Drought Monitor will come out later today, and that will have a better idea of if this rain helped the drought. Although the rain falling on Wednesday doesn't always help with the drought report, because the drought reports are put together on Wednesday. So the drought report may still come in as putting those areas we got the rain yesterday in as severe. Next week's we'll have a better idea, but we'll still get the news drought report from around the state. That's coming up later on this morning. We'll have the details for you at obxtoday.com. The open burning bans within 100 feet of structures that was put in place for unincorporated areas of Dare County, that was lifted yesterday. Also, the ban on beach fires lifted in Cape Hatteras National Seashore and in the town of Nags Head. Again, we'll have more coming up later on today at obxtoday.com when that new drought report does come out in just a little bit. I want to head down to Southern Shores. Here's the scene this morning. This is courtesy of OBX Sunrise on Facebook. And Barbara, who runs that page, posting this morning video from near Trout Run in Southern Shores, just north of the Y. That's where the Bald Eagle 2, which is one of the Wanchee shrimp trawlers, has washed ashore Monday morning, has been there, or Tuesday morning rather, and continues to sit in the surf. And as you can see, not sure whether this is good or bad. It may be good. Depends, on how the recovery effort is being done by the folks there. That the guys with those boats are going to try to pull it out. You can see there's a front end loader, or excavator out there this morning, kind of pulling on the bow rope that was attached to the anchor. But as you can see, the bow has come in short. So not sure whether or not that's good or bad in terms of trying to get the recovery effort. I know there was a couple of boats out there from Wanchee Seafood, which this boat is from Wanchee Seafood. Anyway, they are looking at trying to get that thing off the beach using whatever means possible. But as you can see, video this morning shows, courtesy of OBX Sunrise, shows that the stern is now up on the beach, which may help stabilize some. And one thing that was going on the last 2 days was once the tide started going out, the thing was really rocking back and forth. As the tide came in, rather. High tide's coming up around 11 o'clock today, 11:30 is high tide today. So we may see them start putting in an effort to be able to tow that thing off. The winds are going to die down. You can see the surf still a little rough out there this morning, as both are shot from Corolla, which is behind it, and then, of course, this video taken just about 7:30 this morning up in Southern Shores. So hopefully things are going to work out. We're going to be able to get the Bald Eagle 2 back out to sea. once they are able to get some boats out there and the conditions allow. So we'll keep you up to date with that. But thanks to Barbara at OBX Sunrise for that video this morning. It is OBX Today Live here on Facebook and YouTube. And yesterday evening, right at 5 o'clock, an order came down for the North Carolina Supreme Court that will suspend candidate filing for next year's elections and ordered that the primaries be delayed from March until May. The court granted an injunction in response to legal challenges related to the state's new congressional and legislative district maps. Primaries were originally scheduled to be held on March 8th. The court also said, the Supreme Court said that also that the lower court will rule on the constitutionality of those districts by January 11th, and then there will be an expedited appeal process. So candidate filing, which already is underway, has been suspended. Those who've already filed will stay filed, although if their districts were to change, that could change which seat they're running for in the legislative, in the state house, state senate, and also in Congress. So, but right now, those filings are legal and will stay in place until this matter is adjudicated. Southern Shores Town Council on Tuesday voted to open an application process to serve the 2 years left on the seat that was left vacant on their board after Elizabeth Morey was elected mayor in November. Applications for that Southern Shores Town Council seat will be taken through December 30th for discussion at the January 4th regular meeting, but they will accept applications right up until the council makes their appointment. Applications can be found at obxtoday.com. We got a link on how to get that in, but you have to be a Southern Shores resident, have to be a registered voter in Southern Shores to run for that town council seat. All right, when we come back here on OBX Today Live, Chad Williams, the First Flight athletic director and basketball coach, joins us to talk about the Good Guys versus Cancer, which gets underway tomorrow evening in Kill Hills. We'll have that for you right after this from Gallup Funeral Services.
For over 15 years, Gallup Funeral Services Incorporated has been a beacon of light, guiding local families through difficult times. Gallup Funeral Services Incorporated proudly provides all families with compassionate choices for professional funeral care at reasonable prices. Get the answers you need 24 hours a day. No answering services, hidden costs, add-on fees, confusing fine print, or those scary-looking contracts. Remember, Gallup Funeral Services owns and operates the only crematory in Dare County, keeping our cremations affordable and convenient. Gallup Memorial Chapel in Bargo, North Carolina is now open and minutes from Moyock and Elizabeth City. From traditional church services and graveside burials to direct cremations and advanced planning, let Gallup Funeral Services Incorporated light the way for your family. Don't be pressured or confused by the other funeral homes. It's always your choice. Choose Gallup Funeral Services Incorporated. Call Courtney at 252-216-8030 to get a plan started today, and visit our new website at gallupfuneralservices.com.
Our pet of the week for this week is Sammy. Sammy is a super lovable 8.5-year-old girl. She loves to lay around and sunbathe, but also loves playing with little toys. Sammy has been the only animal her whole life, so she prefers to be your one and only. She loves attention, but does not like being picked up. To adopt Sammy or foster one of our other animals, you can come visit us Monday through Saturday at our shelter located in Manteo. For more information, visit our website at www.obxspca.org or visit our OBX SPCA Facebook page.
And joining us now here on OBX Today Live, presented by Gallup Funeral Services, Chad Williams. He is the athletic director and boys basketball coach at First Flight High School. Chad, thanks for joining us.
Hey, thanks so much for having me. It's always a pleasure to get down and have a chance to sit down and talk with you, Sam.
Appreciate it. Let's get right to it. A busy couple of days ahead for you on the court and off the court. Tell us all about what Good Guys versus Cancer is all about and what's going to be happening.
Good Guys versus Cancer is an event that we started it's actually 4 years ago. My dad was diagnosed with an extremely rare form of cancer. His name was Guy Williams. And they gave us about 10 months for him to live. And he went on some very various trials, was in and out of Duke. And so we knew that it was, it was terminal when it was diagnosed. And So I wanted some way to honor him in some way. And before he passed away, I wanted him to know what I thought of him. And so we actually went and played in an event in Asheville, the Coaches versus Cancer event. Some people found out what was going on with me, and they invited us to come up and play. And so one of the things that you had to do was come up with a fundraiser in order to go so that you could donate money when you got there. Well, my idea for a fundraiser was to have our own showcase in the eastern part of the state, a Coaches versus Cancer event. So we named it the Good Guys versus Cancer after my dad, but also because the people that I called initially to come in and help were some of my really good friends in the high school coaching business, and they're just really good guys. And they all, at the drop of a hat said, absolutely, we want to be involved. And it's really taken off, and very proud of where we are right now.
Yeah, it's and even having to deal with last year and not being able to do it the way that you would have done it because of COVID, to be able to come right back. And man, the lineup you got this year, I mean, I know how good it was 2019. This year it seems to be even better.
Yeah, we got some really, really serious basketball coming in. And for the first thing I need to do is thank the people that helped me do this. And that's the sponsors who've come on board with us. Albemarle Landscapes and Tree Service, Chase Patterson over there and his guys, they've come on and become our name sponsor and have really done anything in the world they could to help us. Twitty Realty, Cooper Hawks Realty, OBX Chevrolet, the Ramada, the Hilton. These people have all stepped up. Dare County Schools lets us use the facility, and Dare County Sheriff's Office provides security for us. And the problem when you start listing people who are helping you, you're going to leave somebody out.
Right.
And it's certainly not intentional. This community has just been unbelievable. And I'm very thankful and grateful to everyone in the community who's helping make this possible. From a pure basketball standpoint, though, we've got 3 of the top 5 teams in the state coming in, and that's private and public schools. Moravian Prep's #1 team in the state. They're out of over near Hickory, North Carolina. They've got about 4 Division I players on the team. All in all, we've got over 30 Division I recruits that'll be here this weekend. 2 years ago, I said that you'd never see better basketball on, east of 95, or you hadn't. Well, now I can tell you once again, you haven't seen better basketball than you'll see this weekend over at First Flight High School. And it's so neat to be able to bring this caliber of play to this little tiny place, in the middle of nowhere in December. And again, I'm just grateful for everybody who helps make this happen.
You talk about bringing in all these great teams from around the state. At the same time, you're getting our local teams from all over Northeast North Carolina and a chance. And we all have a little bit of a sense of pride when it comes to what goes on with athletics out here. And I mean, face it. I mean, it's gotten pretty good out here. We got athletes out here, and people are getting more and more accustomed to seeing our teams playing at the high levels. For a chance on the basketball side anyway, for some of our local high schools to get a chance to play some really top talent, or at least be in the gym and see it and not have to travel 4 hours to see it. That's really, really cool.
Yeah. In the past, what we've done is we've tried to have some local matchups between teams. So some teams that, are geographically close, but don't necessarily play each other. This year we went a little bit different direction in that we wanted to have some of those local, and quite honestly, the reason is those teams are now in the same conference together. So Hertford County and Camden have played each other in the past year, now are conference games. So we didn't want to repeat those. So we're going to give them an opportunity to play somebody much different. And so, Camden's going to come out and play Wilson Prep. Wilson Prep's ranked #2 in 1A. They're a prep school, but they're also, a public high school, and, they'll be competing for a state championship. Hertford County's going to play Washington High School, who hasn't played. Washington's really good. We played them non-conference the other night, and again, we actually played well. I promise. If you saw us last night, I don't know what happened. It was an anomaly. It will never happen again. I can assure you of that. We just didn't show up. But and then we've got we got Manio playing Riverside. That's the former Williamston. They don't play each other. And then Currituck is playing Veritas Collegiate. The very first game on Saturday to kick things off. And if you don't know about Veritas, they're a relatively new school, but they've got some really good players. In fact, they've got the leading returning scorer in the United States playing for them. He averaged over 40 points a game last year at Finney High School in New York. He's just a sophomore who's scored more than 2,000 points already. He's transferred down and is reclassified, so he's actually a sophomore again this year. So if you see it in the program, it's not a mistake. But he's going to light it up. And, Curry Tuck's got a really good team. I had the pleasure of watching them the other night. And these are people who, once people get involved with this showcase, that they call and want to come back. Myers Park's been here since day one. Kinston's been here since day one. Word of God's been here since day one. These people all want to be involved and want to come be a part of this. And so, again, we're just super thankful for the teams that are making the trip and the community support that's helping make this happen. And again, it's going to be some unbelievable basketball here. 4 games on Friday, 9 games on Saturday.
You talked about getting a chance to bring in Myers Park. I mean, think about this. 2 years ago, one of their top players, he just happens to be the quarterback at Carolina now. I mean, all these different little things that are going on with the teams that are coming in, but at the same time, a chance for those teams and scouts, the college scouts that come in and see these kids play that we've watched growing up around here. You never know. Sometimes they find those little hidden nuggets out here. At the same time, this event is something that's really all of our different organizations, Outer Banks Tourism Bureau, all these different groups trying to get more of these off-season events to bring more people to the Outer Banks. This seems like something that when you kicked it off a couple of years ago to honor your dad, this seems like something, if we get a big facility like they've talked about down in Nags Head, this could be something that could be really big part of that.
Yeah, and that's that long term, Sam. It's like you're reading my mind a little bit. When we start talking about what could happen down in Nags Head, my mind starts growing. How can we make this thing bigger and better? My goal when I first started this, my goal was to be I wanted to be top 5 event in North Carolina and nationally recognized within 5 years. And we have absolutely blown that out of the water. I would say we are the second best event right now in North Carolina in all showcase events, behind the John Wall, which happens in Raleigh. The John Wall used to be the Glaxo Welcome, the Burroughs Welcome. It's been around for over 50 years. It's got great support. It's got great sponsorship. It's got notoriety. It brings teams in from all over the country. And so competing with that is something that realistically we couldn't look at doing, from day one. But we've partnered with Phenom Hoops and the Hoop State. And so now we've sort of, we've stepped our game up a notch, and they're helping facilitate this. Our games are going to be live streamed. There's from a marketing standpoint, that's one hand washes the other. I'm not personally, but with money that's been generated from our sponsors, I'm paying for 100 hotel rooms this weekend. 100 hotel rooms, and those are just the players. Players bring parents, and those people are getting hotel rooms and cottages and Airbnbs, and they got to go out to eat somewhere. And so, it is a little shot in the arm to the economy here, which is for me, it's a sidebar. For me, it's still number one for my dad, and number 2, it's for basketball and for putting on a preeminent event. The other stuff is just the icing on the cake.
The Albemarle Landscapes Good Guys versus Cancer is this Friday and Saturday at First Flight High School. Chad, run through some of the details that folks need to know as far as tickets and all that stuff.
Well, we are currently sold out of VIP tickets. We had 40 VIP tickets that we were selling, and those are gone, spoken for, which tells me that this is going to be a well-attended event, I believe. We only do 40 because those people have access to hospitality room. They get T-shirts, they get come and go passes, etc. The tickets are $10 at the door each day. You get 4 games on Friday for $10. You get 9 games on Saturday for $10. The quality of the opponents is and the quality of basketball is going to be really, really good. On Friday, Moravian Prep starts off, kicks us off against Greenfield. Greenfield's an undefeated school out of Wilson, another private school. They're ranked 5th right now in private school sector. They're going to play Moravian, who's number 1. South Central's going to play Myers Park. South Central obviously is ranked number 2 in 3A. They're a 3A school this year. Out of Greenville, Chris Cherry does an unbelievable job. Chris was a former coach at Plymouth who did such a good job there years ago. Really good friend of mine, does a phenomenal job. Dayron Sharp was there not too long ago, and he, this is their 3rd year back with us. Burlington School, who's undefeated out of Burlington. They've got about 6 Division I players on it. The Avion Penner kid from Williamston is transferred there. That's where he's playing at Riverside Williamston. And they're playing Word of God, who's going to be ranked in the top 20 in the country this week, as will Moravian Prep and probably Burlington School. They're all 3 top 20 in the country this year. That'll be here for Friday and Saturday. And then we play Henderson Collegiate. Henderson Collegiate is a a public school, 1A. They will also challenge for the 1A state championship. You may look at their record and see that it's not very good, but they're very similar to me. Their coach George Marshall, in that they will play anybody, anywhere, anytime, and they've done so. And they've licked their wounds a little bit, but I promise you, they are a really, really good basketball team, and we're going to have our hands full. Then Saturday we have the event, the local games that I spoke of earlier, and that's Currituck and Veritas Collegiate. We start at 9 a.m. And that was a game we actually added on the schedule because Byron Powell, new coach at Currituck, called and said, "Coach, we really want to be involved with Good Guys versus Cancer. We'll play whenever we can." And so we actually added that game in, just so we could get Currituck back in here, to be honest. And then Manio Riverside follows that. Camden and Wilson Prep follow that. Hertford County and Washington High School follow that. Washington High School is coached by Dave Allawalt, who used to be at Ocracoke. So there is a little local tie there. And then the teams that played on Friday, for the most part, repeat on Saturday. So South Central is going to play Henderson Collegiate. Myers Park is going to play the Burlington School. Greenfield's going to play Cox Mill. Cox Mill wanted to be involved in this. They're out of Concord. They're ranked top 10 also this year. Really, really good team. They're coached by Ty Johnson, whose dad, Tommy Johnson, was the coach at Perquimans for a while. Mm-hmm. That's how I got to know Ty pretty well. And they said, we want to be involved so much that we're going to get on the bus Friday night after we play in Concord and come all the way to the beach, and we're going to play on Saturday one day because we know what a special event this is. The notoriety that the showcase has, the exposure that the kids are going to get, but also the cause that it's going for, because all of these proceeds go to the American Cancer Society. First Flight High School doesn't take one dime from this, and that's something that I take great pride in. And then Moravian Prep's going to play Word of God at 7:30 on Saturday night, and this is probably the best matchup in high school basketball in the country this weekend. It's probably the one that people are most looking forward to. Two really, 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 really good basketball teams going at it. And it's going to be super exciting to watch. And then we finished things up with this little old school from, a little ways away. I think it's called Kingston or something like that. Don't know a lot about it. I'm not sure how good they are. No, Kinston, Perry Tyndall. Perry Tyndall's the coach at Kinston. He's actually the first person I called when I wanted to start this event. I played against Perry's brother, Webb, in high school. Webb went on to play at the University of North Carolina. And Webb became a friend of mine, and vicariously I got to know Perry. And then we played against him at camp. And if you don't know about Kinston basketball, then you've been living under a rock for the last 25 years in Eastern North Carolina. They are the program in Eastern North Carolina. If you've seen the PBS special on, sending kids to the NBA and from this little tiny town, and they've been great to us. They've been great for us. Their fans have become, we've sort of formed a little bond, I think, with Kinston. I think our kids and their kids have a mutual respect for each other, but I think they also get it. They know why we're doing this. I think, they truly understand what this is all about, and that it's bigger than basketball. And that's what makes this really special for me.
Yeah. And it's cool because when you talk about the Kinston relationship we got with Brian Hanks and with all those guys down there on the radio and Twitter and everything like that, the Hoop State Network going to be doing the live streams. At PhenonHoopReport.com. I know they've got all the stuff as far as the info. So check that out there. You go to PhenonHoopReport.com. They've got a great page. It's all set up with all the schedule and all the info and where the streams will be located. Chad, good luck with it. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's one of those things we all look forward to every year is the high school basketball season. You talk about Kinston. I'll call them the Tarboro of high school basketball in North Carolina.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Ironically enough, they were 4A school when I was in school. For kids 4A, and they were in the Big East Conference when I was at Northeastern. And that was the year that they had 6 Division I players on it. They had Jerry Stackhouse and Chuck Jones and Webb Tyndall and Charlie McNary and Wes Collins and actually we had this little kid, little 5'10" shooter named TJ Long who went in there, and TJ was a junior, and TJ's been my best friend since I was in the 3rd grade. And we went in there that night and we beat them for the conference championship at their place. I think TJ had about 35 and he talked trash the entire game. And,
yeah, he did.
Which he was prone to do. But that's one of the great memories I had, and that's where such a huge respect I have for the Kinston program, started back then. And really glad they're coming in and the rest of these folks.
Chad, thanks so much for joining us here on OBX Today Live. Good luck with it. And remember, we'll see you down the road, man. Thanks.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Come on out, see some great basketball, guys. And thanks again to our sponsors.
For over 15 years, Gallup Funeral Services Incorporated has been a beacon of light, guiding local families through difficult times. Gallup Funeral Services Incorporated proudly provides all families with compassionate choices for professional funeral care at reasonable prices. Get the answers you need 24 hours a day. No answering services, hidden costs, add-on fees, confusing fine print, or those scary-looking contracts. Remember, Gallup Funeral Services owns and operates the only crematory in Dare County, keeping our cremations affordable and convenient. Gallup Memorial Chapel in Bargo, North Carolina is now open and minutes from Moyock and Elizabeth City. From traditional church services and graveside burials to direct cremations and advanced planning, let Gallup Funeral Services Incorporated light the way for your family. Don't be pressured or confused by the other funeral homes. It's always your choice. Choose Gallup Funeral Services Incorporated. Call Courtney at 252-216-8030 to get a plan started today and visit our new website at gallupfuneralservices.com.
This week's Champion for Children is brought to you by Children and Youth Partnership for Dare County, helping families thrive. The Outer Banks Women's Club has been identified as a champion for children. President Jean Pratt, can you tell us a little about what your club does to help children, youth, and families thrive in our community?
The Outer Banks Women's Club was formed 50 years ago with the goal of working for the betterment of the community and the preservation of the beauty of the Outer Banks. The first project the club women were involved in was building a youth center, recreational youth center, and they spent 10 years working with the community and raising funds, and they raised a lot of funds. They worked with organizations like the Children and Youth Partnerships, and in 1996, the Parks and Recreation Center was opened. We are probably best known for Angel Gift, which was started in 1987 and continues to this day. In conjunction with Dare County Social Services, who identify the families, and with the generous contributions of the community, we are able to deliver toys and gifts and clothing to the children in need in Dare County. For 47 years, we have awarded numerous scholarships to high school students who are going to college or community college that are North Carolina state schools, or to women who are returning to college after many years. A few years ago, we started the Books for Babies program with the Outer Banks Hospital. The club buys board books for the hospital that gives them to the new parents in the hope that they will read the books to their children and nurture a lifelong love of reading. 2 years ago, we started a program giving support and supplies to a new teacher in one of the local schools. This year, we expanded the program to support a local school librarian in addition to supporting another first-year teacher. The club has helped with tuition support for students interested in science to attend summer courses in Wanchese at the Coastal Studies Institute. We have also provided funding to help first flight students, journalism students, attend a regional conference. The club women donated diapers to the Children and Youth Partnerships 3 times during the pandemic. We also sponsored a Kids Fest Pirate Event Day last May with the Children and Youth Partnerships. The Outer Banks Women's Club is part of the General Federation of Women's Clubs of North Carolina, and every year we sponsor local student artwork and literature to local, district, and state levels. Over the years, many Dare County students have won awards for their work. The club women donate time, money, and in-kind goods to many organizations on the Outer Banks, including the Beach Food Pantry, Food for Thought, Children and Youth Partnerships, Interfaith Community Foundation, Dare Arts Council, Dare Literacy Council, Dare Education Foundation, Saving Lives Task Force, and the Hotline.
Do you have anything special coming up that you'd like the community to know about?
The Angel Gift Program for 2021 is underway. We have finished interviewing the parents for what the gifts are that they want for their children, and this year we have over 260 children in the program. On November 5th, we started putting angels on trees set up in Walmart, Publix, OBX Chevrolet, the YMCA, and Manio. And these trees will be up until November 29th, the Monday after Thanksgiving. Members of the community can take one or more angels off the tree, buy the gift, and bring it to the Bomb Center between November 30th and December 4th. Or they can donate money by check made out to OBWC and mailed to OBWC, Post Office Box 102, Kill Devil Hills. Or you can go online to our website, www.gfwc-obwc.com, and click on the donate button. The people of Dare County have always been very generous to this wonderful project.
If someone wants to get involved with the Outer Banks Women's Club, what should they do?
You can contact us using the contact button on our website, www.gfwc-obwc.com. Or you can email us at gfwc.obwc.nc@gmail.com. Or you can give us a call and speak to someone or leave a message at 252-284-4040.
If you would like to nominate a person or group to be a champion for children, please contact CYP at 252-441-0614.
Jam Media Solutions has launched a new one-stop shop website design and maintenance company called Jam Digital Services. WordPress powers approximately 1/3 of all of the web, including some of the largest and most complex properties on the internet, including OBXtoday.com. For businesses, your website's the face of your company online. Jam Digital Services puts your best face forward with a beautiful custom-designed website that looks and functions great on all devices from desktop to mobile. All packages include basic SEO services to help your website rank highly on Google and Bing, along with social media integration and contact forms to help customers reach you easily. And you won't have to find a home for your website. All packages include fast, secure hosting and maintenance and security updates for one fair monthly price. Jam Digital Services will also soon be providing additional services such as email marketing, mobile geofencing, search and site retargeting, and video services. For more information, visit jamdigitalservices.com or click on the ad at obxtoday.com and see how we can build a website for you. Welcome back here to OBX Today Live on Facebook and YouTube. I'm Sam Walker. Make sure you're mashing that like button, subscribe, hit the bell to know whenever we go live, both on YouTube and Facebook, because you can then watch me, my ugly mug, on your big TV on YouTube or Facebook. And Facebook's got it now where you can integrate it into the apps on your TV as well. All right, let me switch over here to my display because, let's see. Earlier this week, there was a post on Twitter that tried to break the internet anyway, from a certain bunch of folks that have been getting a lot of publicity for the Outer Banks. This dropped yesterday, Tuesday.
All the way from Pokelandia, we've got incoming news. Drum roll, please.
Let's go!
We're coming back, season 3. Yeah. Season 3.
Count 'em, baby. Back like we never left.
Can't kill Poe, can't kill Poe, can't kill Poe, can't kill Poe, can't.
Season 3!
See you in Pokelandia, baby.
Keep it up.
Yep, Netflix announcing over the weekend, over the weekend, on they announced it on Tuesday afternoon that season 3 of Outer Banks is ago. They have renewed the popular Gen Z thriller adventure, whatever you want to call it. We got the details at obxtoday.com for you right now. In fact, I'm going to kill that display, and we'll run through the story for you that I got up at obxtoday.com. Pogues rejoice. OBX is back for a season 3. You can jump on that ferry to Chapel Hill. The coming-of-age mystery series, Outer Banks, has been renewed for a 3rd season, while much of the TV series claims to be set on our beaches. Variations on the names of local landmarks, along with a ferry that defies actual geography and physics. The show has been filmed exclusively near Charleston and in the Bahamas and other coastal locales nowhere near us. Now, along with the announcement video on Twitter, a logo for season 3 dropped with a rather Caribbean-looking beach. Among the stars returning for the 3rd season are Chase Stokes, Madison Bailey, Austin North, Maddie Klein, Jonathan Davis, Rudy Pankow, Drew Starkey, and Charles Eston, according to Screen Rant. And reportedly, Carlacia Grant's also going to enter the new season as a regular after her success of season 2. Series creators Jonas and Josh Pate, both natives of Rayford down near Fayetteville, and then Jonas lives in Wilmington still. Along with Shannon Burke, will be returning as showrunners and execs on the Gen Z hit, according to Variety. Outer Banks was highly praised upon its debut in 2020, holding the top television spot on Netflix for several weeks. The show also topped the Nielsen ratings in the United States, recording 2.1 billion minutes of viewing time. And it also has boosted tourism on the Outer Banks. The Outer Banks Tourism Bureau has said repeatedly that the inquiries on the Outer Banks itself have grown, and directly from the TV show. Of course, our friends over at Kitty Hawk Kites, at Kitty Hawk Sports, they've got a line through Volcom of OBX Outer Banks apparel from the show that you can get over at Kitty Hawk Sports. There you go. There's some Christmas gift ideas for somebody of the young folks in your life. Production timeline, release date for season 3 hasn't been revealed yet. And we'll see if they actually ever come here to film anything. Of course, we got Kildare County, the ferry to Chapel Hill, the lighthouse that isn't any of our lighthouses, one of those down in South Carolina. But all right, as Jody O'Donnell succinctly puts on a regular basis, it's not a documentary. We get it. It's fun TV. And hey, it's been pretty popular, and it's kind of been, the Outer Banks has gotten some notoriety out of it for sure. So thanks to them. All right, sports. And in sports, light night of high school basketball. A lot of that has to do with the Good Guys versus Cancer getting underway tomorrow, and all the locals are pretty much playing in it. But there are a couple of games tonight. Mania is going to trip down to Buxton to take on Cape Hatteras. Ocracoke's making a trip to Washington Montessori. Pasquotank at Gates, and Pungo Christian is at John Paul II. One college basketball game on the local note. That's NC State hosting Bethune-Cookman, and that'll be at Reynolds Coliseum tonight, the annual Heritage game for the Wolfpack in the old barn on campus. And NFL tonight, the weekend kicks off with Pittsburgh at Minnesota. Yesterday, the State Board of Transportation voted to name a couple of highways, precisely I-40 in Orange County and Durham counties. And, well, it pretty much makes sense why they would do this. The stretch from Highway 86 to the 15501 interchange on I-40, so that's on the west side of 15501, is now going to be called Roy Williams Highway. And the stretch between 54 and 15501 is now called Dean Smith Highway. The Department of Transportation approved the request according to a news release from UNC yesterday. Chapel Hill Town Council approved a resolution to support the request last month. No word of when they're going to name part of the New Jersey Turnpike for Coach K. Couldn't resist. Could not resist. So anyway, you'll now be driving on the Dean Smith Highway and the Roy Williams Highway on I-40. NC State fans will most likely go 85 up Glenwood to 85 and avoid it entirely. All right, now that I've made everybody mad here on the show, let's jump on to the OBX Today Weather Center forecast. Kind of cool today. Not quite as breezy, though. We will see a partly sunny sky to start. Then we'll get some clouds in the afternoon with highs of 51. North winds around 10 to 15. A few gusts of 20 at times. Let's see. Mostly cloudy tonight. Didn't realize we had dropped out our cameras there. There we go. Sorry about that, folks. The background camera dropped out on us. I guess it was the Duke fan was not happy with that. Running the camera. All right, mostly cloudy this evening, then gradual clearing overnight. Low 43, winds be calm. Friday, partly sunny. There's a slight chance of rain in the afternoon, high 64. Friday night, mostly cloudy, slight chance of rain in 57. Saturday, partly sunny, maybe a slight shower in the afternoon. It's going to get breezy, though, and warm, high 71 Saturday. Sunday, some early showers and mostly sunny and breezy, a high of just 54. So we're on the seesaw right now, temperature-wise. Monday, sunny and 58. Tuesday, sunny, 61. Wednesday, sunny and 65. Coastal Marine forecast today. North winds 15 to 20 knots this morning, dropping to 5 to 10 knots in the afternoon. 1 to 2 foot waves in the Sound Seas, 3 to 5 feet. Water temperatures 55 at Duck, 58 Nags Head, 61 Rodanthe, Avon at 60. Sound side, we're anywhere between 55 and 60. Next tide change at Oregon Inlet's a high tide at 11:44. Sunset tonight, earliest of the year through Sunday at 4:48. Sunrise tomorrow is at 7 a.m. Currently outside the studios in Uptown Nags Head, 42 degrees. And that's going to do it for OBX Today live here on Facebook and YouTube. Make sure you mash that like button, subscribe, hit the bell to know whenever we go live. And join us every weekday morning at 8 o'clock for OBX Today Live. Thanks for joining us, presented by Gallup Funeral Services. We'll see you back here tomorrow for the TGIF edition of OBX Today Live. See ya.